Hey, hey, we are live and hi. And we've had our 5-day baby steps to drawing success. And whenever you are seeing this, whether you saw it as it happened or if you're looking at it now for the first time, what I really want you to take away from this is to believe in yourself that this enjoyment of drawing and maybe eventually painting is possible for you. And because you can draw, you really, really can. And what we did in these 5-day series was we went over all of these lovely things. I mean, we had to start off with your beliefs because our beliefs, your beliefs, my beliefs, whose ever beliefs, our beliefs might not be correct. We might have anchored in a belief when we were really small, and it was just part of survival. It was part of our beautiful little mind was ready to take in whatever it was given, and it instilled a belief that wasn't necessarily um, optimal or useful for today, that's for sure, because anybody can draw if they want to. And that is the major, major key. So the idea was to break it down into these baby steps, just like learning to walk or ride a bicycle or drive a car or learn tech. The first time you ever wrote an email, even the simplest things all had baby steps. But our belief systems hold us back from even trying so often. So the first thing we got to do is get past head trash. And there's nothing wrong with that it's there originally, but it's always good to question, do I know that to be true is an absolute fact, and you don't know until you've given it a go. So we also found out that the word draw has this mystique around it, that only a select few people were born with this ability, which just isn't true, especially when we know that the word simply means to pull. That's all it means. And we all can just pull a pen or a pencil over a piece of paper. It's so easy. And so, that leads us to realize we've been drawing our entire lives. You have been drawing your entire life. If you've learned how to print letters of the alphabet, numbers, been able to do math on paper, if you've written your signature, if you've signed checks, you're drawing because those are all drawings. Those are all symbols that have meaning. So, after we realize those things, we can start to see things a little differently because we realize, oh, I'm training my mind to think a little bit differently. And that's where it starts to get a little more fun. It's not just so esoteric, but your eyes and your mind need to start communicating. There needs to be a dialogue between your eyes and your mind. Your eyes see things, and your mind wants to snap to a conclusion, and it has to stop. You have to ask your mind to stop and look at things with fresh, new eyes. And you practice by asking it to see horizontal. And you look around, and you look around, and you say, wow, there's a lot of horizontal lines. And then you say, well, how about vertical? Bam. You stop seeing the horizontal lines and you start seeing vertical lines. Okay, how about diagonal? And there they are. When you can start with the most simple lines, that is the key baby step to get started drawing absolutely everything. I mean, everything. As a professional drawer person, I always start with the horizontal, the vertical, and diagonal. every single time. It makes all my drawings come out better. Um, I might start with a really light pencil, and then once I've anchored things in and I figured out where everything belongs, I might need to erase some of those lines, and sometimes not. So of course that's that mind, eye, and then you'd start developing this hand coordination to go with what your eyes see and your mind is talking to your eyes, and you start to develop this hand and arm coordination, and that takes practice too. That's a skill. And we found out that the world is flat. You see a third dimensional world, you know that things have shapes in third dimension and fur on animals and hair on our head. But when you go to put it on paper or canvas or whatever, this world is flat. This world is two dimensional. So we have to start seeing things two dimensionally. So there's that. And it all boils down to simplify. Simplify, simplify, simplify. And that's why I want you to start with horizontal, vertical, and diagonal, because that's so simple. We can see those so easily. And then when you start the biggest horizontal line, the biggest vertical line, the biggest diagonal lines, and then you start putting them together and you wind up with shapes. You wind up with squares and rectangles, circles and ovals, triangles of different types and shapes of triangles and things like that. So we need to see the simple. And then when you've worked with the largest lines and shapes, you'll start seeing smaller ones and smaller ones and smaller ones. But they're so simple when we take them one baby step at a time. So of course that means you need to practice. You have to practice seeing. You have to practice getting your mind to pay attention to what your eyes are trying to tell it. Okay, so there's the 5 days in a nutshell. So if you don't even watch the other ones, there's the quickie. But the next step, you know, you want to know what the next step is. And I want you to know what the next step is because I'm I'm creating new drawing courses. I have a drawing course available, but I'm creating new courses. And I would really love to have some live students where I can continue to give you the baby steps, to hold you by the hand, you know, virtually, shall we say, and and take you on this journey. And that's, of course, if you want to. Not everybody wants to draw. But there are a lot of people that wish they could draw. And they've had this belief system, I can't. And for whatever reason, and we went over that in video one, and it's all about a belief system that was instilled when you were a very young person. Truly, that's where it all starts, is when you're a really young person. So if you'd like to continue this journey, I invite you to subscribe to my newsletter, which you can do at kimvictoria.com. And then you'll get into my circle, my circle of influence, if you will. There's some free gifts there, including a coloring book, something that I drew for the enjoyment of others. And then there will also be the access information so that you can watch these videos, and you can watch a previous version of these videos too. It's kind of like I've been working on this a long time in the hopes that as a public service, I could help people start shifting a belief system around I can't and start moving into the I cans. So kimvictoria.com, really simple. The little subscription box is right there. You'll immediately get some free gifts, and there's more information on the landing page where you see all that good stuff. So I hope that intrigues you. I hope you're interested. I'm glad you were here. And draw. Please, you can draw. All right? I'll see you soon. Bye for now.